Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on Growing Faith Farms. Today's episode we are taking out the 766 again and doing some spring field work with it. So I'm planting half of this lower field down here, and then I've got another field up there I'm going to do in a different episode. But this one is I'm going to take this down and I'm going to disc just down here. I'm going to drop the disc off and then hook up the corn planter, which is right over here. The other field still has cattle up in it, grazing it off right now. This one they just finished grazing off the other day. Here's our disc, John Deere 210. So we are gonna take this thing out and let it stretch its legs. When it spends all winter on the loader tractor, it sure slobbers a lot of oil off the side from idling all the time. So when I start out, it's probably gonna smoke quite a bit, but it doesn't burn any oil. It's just burning the oil off the side of the block. So let's get started. Just so I can kind of evaluate and show you guys what's going on. So far it's doing really good. So this field is shaped like an L. Right here is the long part you can see down kind of that corner, and then it goes around the edge of the woods there. So far I overlap 50%. I drive the tractor right down where my end was. You can see it here. So here's half the disc and here's what the double disc part looks like. It doesn't look so bad. Although around the corner though, I'm having a hard time. That sod is a lot thicker. So I might have to quadruple that, but so far this is going really well, especially on the long part of the field. So tractor's doing all right. It burned off that slobber kind of on my first pass. It's still smoking, so not nearly what it was the first go around. It's getting a little warm. I mean, that's a lot of disc for this tractor, but it's what I got. So I do have plans to get a bigger one at some point, but for now we're going to run this, and I'll just do this field and then we'll switch it over to the planter. So I'm going to keep going at it. This green stuff that doesn't want to break up, this is where I spread my hog crap all winter long. Thank goodness I have a no-till corn planter. I'm not sure how well this would work out. Here's the other part of the field. It goes right up to the corral over there. Down here it's going beautiful. A little warm, but not too hot. Alright, I am all done disking this lower field. See, I quadruple disced it, so basically I would overlap half of my new pass with the old pass, and then I would circle back to come back up. So I go down, I make a half cut / half overlap, and then I come back a little bit over and double it up with that, doing the same method. So lots of disking. That sod is tough to bust up. I should really look into getting a chisel plow, but yeah, we'll save that for another day. Just gonna drop the disc here in the driveway, unhook the 766, and run it over to the planter, and then I have to set up all my monitoring crap, so I'll work on that. All right, I'm doing some planting. I already did my headlands. I was so excited to get started, I completely forgot to film. So far it's working good as far as I can tell. I don't think the nitrogen's actually getting on, but I just realized I never tightened up the stuff on the squeeze pump, so maybe that'll fix it. Like I said, I only did the headlands. I can always come back and spread a little. But I got the 1000 PTO running the pump. My monitor, which I'm not using. There's a fault in sensor 4, so it just squawks at me as soon as I start moving. But the marker controls is working. That's what I rigged up right there. So that I can alternate which marker goes down, which is super handy. Running some decal, but I'll show that maybe later. Population set for about 33,000. on the 766, 4 rows wide. So I'll keep going. I'm all done planting my first field. I used 2 bags of seed and I've got just a little bit left in the hopper there. The only problems I really faced were that the monitor was not working. It would just instantly go into failure mode when I would start planting, but I dug up behind the rows and I would always get corn. So the other problem, I had the squeeze pump running for inline and my fertilizer is at the same level pretty much as when I started. So it's not working for some reason. I saw this one dripping a little bit, so maybe 1 out of every 4 rows got a little extra starter. I guess I'll just have to spray it on afterwards. Not too big a deal. And then the markers were like impossible to see in this disced up sod, so I might look into getting different markers or try angling them a little bit more. But the planter did a great job. So it's got these were for injecting nitrogen, so they don't do anything right now. And then back there I've got no-till coulters, and between that and then the double disc opener and these little closing discs in the back, I thought it did a great job. I mean, look at where it planted. You can see a line right here. You know, it cut right through all this stuff. Over there got a little wonky because I messed up, you know, because I was following the fence. And this woods is at a slight angle, so then I had to cut in. But I have a small planter, so that works out a little better than if I had like a giant planter with no row shutoffs. So now I get to unhook all of this, hook the tractor to the sprayer, spray this, and then hook it up to the disc again and go back to the other side. Yeah. So planting my first year, I thought went really well. Stick around, I will post another video when I do the other one. Thank you so much for watching.